Amaratep family.
Uncle John Sinet.
I'm building me a home. I'm building me a home. I'm building me a home. I'm building me a home, my Lord. This earthly house is gonna soon decay. A soul's gotta have somewhere to stay. Through many dangers, caused and snares, I have already come. It was faith that taught my heart to fear, and I know it will lead me on. When you see me praying, I'm building me a home. When you see me praying, I'm building me a home. This earthly house is gonna soon decay, and my soul's gotta have, and my soul's gotta have, and my soul's gotta have somewhere to stay. Ships once sailed from Africa, journeyed from kings of queens of old, journeyed to distant lands, stripped down to their souls. Spirits cried relentlessly, let my people go. Black tracks longing to be free, let my people go.
Ashe. Thank you, Baba Jeff, for finding that and bringing that out to us.
Ashe,
Oh,
Ashe.
first time I ever seen that.
Ashe. Now our host today is Charlene. So Charlene, we're ready for you. I did see her on here. Let's see if I see her.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Here we go. Can you guys hear me? We're going to start off with libation being poured by Minister Alicia.
Greetings. So in our Husia, the book of Ani, number 2, it says, pour libation for your father and mother who rest in the valley of the dead. God will witness your action and accept it. Do not forget to do this even when you are away from home. For as you do for your parents, your children will do for you also. So today we would like to pour libation. And libation is a beautiful time of connection between this world and the next, between us here in the physical and our ancestors. And our ancestors who have given us not just their blood and life, but also from the stories that we hear from our ancestors, our African ancestors, those that inspired us, those stories that help us as we grow, that help us as we achieve, and that help us and give us inspiration for life, just living. On the strength of our ancestors, it is beautiful that we can learn of their works, that we can learn of even their struggles and how they were able to overcome them. It's very inspiring today. So I'm going to pour libation. First, this is a new libation vessel that I received yesterday. This is a libation vessel that was given to me by the wife of the late Yusuf Ali. So I'm going to first pour libation to Brother Yusuf Ali.
Ashe, come and be with us.
Ashe, come and be with us. I would like to pour libation to Robert Nesta Marley.
Ashe, come and
Ashe,
be with us.
come be with us. I would like to pour libation to Stephen Biko.
Ashe, come and be with us.
Ashe, come and be with us. I would like to pour libation to Dr. Amos Wilson.
Ashe,
Ashe,
come
come and be with us. I pour libation also to Dr. Francis Cress Welsing.
and be with us. Ashe, come and
Be with us. I would like to pour libation to Sister Valeria Gadsden Sams.
Ashe, come and be with us.
Ashe, be with us. I would like to pour libation also to Sister Karen Guilford.
Ashe, come and
Ashe,
be
be with us. And I would like to open the libation up for you to say the names.
Baba Imhotep Akebalan.
Ashe,
Ashe, come and be with us. Mr. and Mrs. Joyce, Mr. and Mrs. Wilford, and Virginia Harvey. Ashe,
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 come and be with us.
come and be with us. Mrs. Joyce Pope Williams. Ashe, come and be with us. My mother and father, Mr. and Mrs. Leroy and Hazel Conley. Ashe,
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 be
come
with
and
us.
My
Paul
brother,
Gary Purder.
Ashe,
Ashe.
Ashe,
come and be with us.
Yes. Paul and Edna Purder. Ashe.
Ashe, Ashe, come and be with us.
Susie and Drew Buchanan. Ashe.
Ashe, come and be with us. Reverend St. Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King. Ashe,
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 come and be with us.
Mozella and Alonzo Jones.
Ashe, Ashe, come and be with us.
Come and be
Sarah and Paul Flanders.
Ashe,
with us. Ashe, come and be with us.
Mr. and Mrs. Dixon. Ashe, Ashe,
Ashe,
come and be with us.
Great,
with us.
great, great grandmother Sydney.
Ashe,
Ashe,
come and be with us.
Obie and Nancy Tentland.
Ashe,
Ashe, come and
Charles Robinson.
be with us. Ashe,
Ashe,
come and be with us.
come and be with us.
Sharman Flanders.
Ashe, come and be with us.
Be with us.
Mr. and Mrs. Eugene and Lily Mae Young Sr. Ashe,
Ashe,
Ashe, come and be with us.
Leslie
Roland
Campbell
Young.
and Algie Bolden.
Ashe,
Ashe,
Ashe, come and be with us. Brother Roland Young. Ashe,
Ashe,
come and be with
Robert Cherry.
us. Ashe,
Ashe,
come and be with us.
John Henry Clark.
Ashe,
Ashe,
come and be with us. Yosef Ben Yachanan.
Ashe,
Come
come and
and
be
be
with
with us.
us.
The Brown and McDaniel family.
Ashe,
Ashe, come and be with us.
Monica Han.
Ashe, come and
Ashe.
be with us. Mr. Jasiri Kadiri.
Ashe,
Come and be with us.
Arieto Spriggs. Ashe.
Ashe,
Come and be with us. Baba Kamau Seitu.
Ashe, come and be with us.
Kenneth Bird.
Ashe.
Shay,
Come and be with us.
be with us.
Catherine Caldwell.
Shay, come and
Come
be
and
with
be
us.
with
Ashatan.
Shay,
us.
come
Come
and
and
be
be with us.
with us. Shay will say, we have filled the room. We have filled the room with our ancestors, those who were uttered aloud and those who are kept deeply within our hearts.
Yeah.
As this month we honor the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
Ashe. Come and be with us.
We also pour libations to our honored ancestors of the North.
Ashe.
Ashe, be with us. Our honored ancestors of the South.
Ashe. Come and be with us.
We pour libations to our honored ancestors from the East.
Ashe.
Ashe,
Come and be with us.
we pour libation to our honored ancestors from the West.
Ashe. Come and be with us.
And we give thanks. We give thanks for this connection from this realm to the next. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
Ashe. Thank you. Dua, Amina.
Tupuma King, Kenneth Fuller, Alaman Haile, Mother Mirabai, Minister Makalisi and Mary, the family of Minister Imhotep, Baba Damu, the family of Mama Ingina, Minister Sidney and Mama Kani, Rashumba and Jamala, Aaliyah and Trina Salgado and Cherie Boyd, the unhoused, the addicted, Reverend Aubrey and Viola Lewis, Jabbar Watson, Michael Sawyers, Okanona and Mayhew Holmes, Marcus Johnson, Babatai and family, our elders, Mama Fanya and Jalea, Tyombe Jama, Tracy Brown, Delois Scott, Mama Dandiway and family, Mark Taylor, the family of Traylon, specifically her mother Antoinette, John Jackson, the Love Goodlet family, Omir, Zion, artist Amara, and Dahlia Pearson, Nalunga Mwanga, Nantambu's daughter, Essie Lucas, Ed Lucas's mother, Mama Zarita, Bobby Williams, Jabari Jahi, Faye Kennedy, Karamu and Amina Suso, Mother Aziza and family, Minister Malley, Dennis Lockett, Donovan and Sunshine, Avante, Letitia, Lamaya, Mackin and Xavion, Chandra Flores, Joseph Williams, Andre Turner and daughters, Sugar D and family, Queen Mother Thurston, World Peace, Bill and Janet Sarpenter, Ile Omade, June and Dawn Glenn Lawson, Pepper Vaughn, caregivers, the incarcerated, Victoria and Ellen McKinney, the deported, Amethyst Graham, Georgie Reed, Brenda Jones, Mama Darnisha's mother, and Mama Darnisha, Mama Bonasale and her daughter Zenzale, our youth, Professor Menu Ampim, Baba Nimbly, Annette, Mama Marcia, the Bridgeforth Jordan family, C.K. Ludzepko, Jeremiah Robinson, the mentally ill, Will Sapp, our pianist, the lost, Kevin Page, Malachi Story, Aki's friend. Lavinia Ward, Shanita, Mama Keisha's friend. Brother M.B. Hanif and his wife Lola. Brother Davis, Brother Hanif's son. Desiree Sadler, Margarita Creasy, Afi Nkume, Pat Jameson, Himhotep Sa-Ra.
Now it is time for circle prayer. My name is Mitha Munette. I will pray first from Queen Afua. Then a couple of you may open your mics and pray. Obasi will conclude the circle prayer.
Louder.
Sacred Spirit, hold me near. Protect me from all harm and fear. Beneath the stones of life, direct my steps in the right way as I journey through this vision. Scared Spirit, Sacred Spirit, surround me in your most absolute perfect light. Direct point me in your sacred purity, peace, and divine insight. Bless me truly, bless me as I share this sacred life. Teach me, Sacred Spirit, to be in tune with the universe. Teach me, bow my head to heal with the inner and outer elements, the air of fire, water, and earth. Ashe.
Now you can open up your mic.
Ashe.
Now you can open up your mics.
Ashe. Omnipotent, omniscient, omniwondrous, omniglorious, Holy One. Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks. Oh, give thanks. Thank you for the sound of this precious young spirit bringing prayer. What a joy. How beautiful it is to behold the youth as they come in righteousness with their countenance and eyes smiling before us, uplifting the holy word. We give thanks right now for this holy day, for the blessing that the Creator, Mut and Amun-Ra bring, that Keparah has transformed from Amen in the night, bringing all that is with Amen unto him as he creates the morning sky in Maat since September. Oh, we thank you. We thank you for the gathering of the hearts and minds of those who've come together to enjoy one another as we commune in holy communion and worship in this place called Wose. All minds on one accord, all spirits standing strong as we come together in this place, heralded by one who has become an ancestor, Asar Minister Imhotep Akebulon. Oh, we give thanks. Oh, we feel you, we discern you. Oh, Unefer, you who have put off mortality and taken on immortality. Oh, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks. Oh, there's joy this wondrous morning that we may come and fellowship and leave better when we came. Leave better when we leave, as we leave than when we came. Oh, blessings abound. Thank you for the holy ones whose names have been uplifted on this prayer list. We are in prayer with them, embracing them, loving them, enjoying the joy of prayer and its power and its hekah that spreads, oh, glory to God, around us, before us, behind us, guiding the direction and the order of our steps, the utterances upon our mouth, lips, teeth, and tongue, and the blessing and working of our hands, that we may continue a great work. Oh, our little ones encourage our hearts. And oh, we are blessed to have those elders who have more years behind them than we do in front of us, and all those sacred times that we have in this physical plane are committed to doing a good work. Oh, we give thanks. We thank you for those who have said, I'm lost. Help me find my way. Guide me. Hear my prayers. Listen to the words of my mouth. Bless me, and you shall be blessed abundantly. Bless this service this morning. Bless those who utter and those who hear. And may we leave better than when we came. Ashe. Amen.
Ashe.
Is there one more?
Okay.
Okay, now it is Bossy's turn to conclude the circle prayer.
Speak up. Pray that. O thou from whom the breath of life comes, who fills all realms of sound, light, and vibration. May your light be experienced in my utmost, holiest, most heavenly domain approaches. Let your will come true in the universe just as on earth. Give us wisdom, understanding, assistance for our daily need. Detach the fetters of faults that blind us, like we let go of the guilt of others. Let us not be lost in superficial things, but let us be freed from that we keep us from our true purpose. From you comes the all. Working will live the lively strength to act the song that beautifies all and renews itself from age to age, sealed in trust
faith and truth, I confirm with my entire being. Amen. Amen. Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe,
Praise
amen.
God. That was wonderful.
Ashe, Ashe.
Whew. Out of the mouths of babes.
It was beautiful. Thank you so much, Ms. Nabasi. Now we will have our affirmations.
We will know God's truth to be free and self-determined.
Creator, help us to remember the humanity, glory, and suffering of our ancestors and to honor the struggles of our elders.
Let us strive to bring new vision and life to our people. Let there be peace and harmony among us.
Let us be loving, sharing, and creative. Let us work, study, and listen so we may learn, teach, and cultivate self-reliance.
Grant us power, O Holy One, as we struggle to resurrect our hearts and our homeland.
We will raise our children according to the needs of our nation, with discipline, patience, devotion, and courage. We will strive to be the living models of the new direction of our people.
We are an African people.
We are children of God.
Ashe.
What's going on?
This is so wonderful.
Okay. Information announcements. It's supposed to be announcements.
Okay, I will begin the announcements. Share. These are the announcements for Woise Sacramento for August 31st, 2025. Every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, we have a book study. We are currently reading Guiding Principles, Maat, Guiding Principles of a Moral Living. There's still plenty of the book left. It is the same Zoom meeting ID that we use for our normal service. All you have to do is just start a little bit early. So we'll see you at 9 o'clock in the morning, just before meditation, which starts at 10. Join us for intercessory prayer Mondays and Fridays at 5:30 in the morning. The Love Supreme Ministry is concerned about everyone in the family, but we certainly focus on those in need. And this prayer list has been put in the chat. Please print it and download it for your personal prayer throughout the week. But we certainly would love to see you 5:30 in the mornings, Monday and Friday.
There is no beauty but in relationships. Nothing cut off by itself is beautiful.
So as we honor the beauty of relationships and with great reverence, we approach the activities next week. They start off on Wednesday, September 3rd from 4 to 6 p.m. with a viewing at Morgan Jones Funeral Home, 4200 Broadway Boulevard, Sacramento. Again, Wednesday from 4 to 6 p.m. This is followed by the graveside committal burial ceremony, which takes place on Thursday, September 4th at noon. It's at Rolling Hills Memorial Park, 4100 Hilltop Drive in Richmond, California. And this is the concluding celebration of life. Happens on Saturday, September 6th at 11 a.m. at the Wackford Community Center, which is in the Valley Oak Ballroom, which is located at 9014 Bruceville Road in Elk Grove, California. And I do want to be clear that all are invited to all 3 events. And so, Ashe, that concludes our announcements for Sacramento.
Your mic is
Charlene, please unmute.
Charlene, can you hear us? We need you to unmute your mic so you can let us know what comes next. Okay, it's seeming like her microphone might be going out because she's talking. It looks like her mic is open, but we can't hear her. So next, we're going to have a video, Baba Jeff, Children of the Sun.
That was fun.
Oh, so beautiful.
You guys hear me? Oh. Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so next we will have our historical tribute by Tawu.
Ew. Okay, he's ready. We're going to start screen. We're going to do a screen share. This historical tribute. Go. Say it right now. This historical tribute.
This historical tribute is the first in an ongoing study of foresight youth to learn about our Black communities that have been taken over, burned down, and flooded out. This is a brief story that takes place in New York.
Would you speak a little louder, please?
Speak a little louder. It's okay. It's okay. Come on. We got it. We're going to talk about this. Go ahead. Come on. Finish reading it. Do this page. 1 second, you guys. We're getting it together. Before Central Park. This is going to.
We are proud of you, young man, and we know that you are trying your best. So take that deep breath. Your mother's there to encourage you. And we just want to be able to hear your voice because we are so proud of you for stepping up in leadership in this moment to share this historical tribute. Everybody on Wose, put your hands up and shake your hands to encourage this young person.
That's right. Bring it, big fella. Bring it.
Shake your hands, show that you are in full support. Ashe.
I just want you. I just want you in the microphone. That's what I need from you. Okay, ready? Can you do it? I think you can. Can you start here? Saba, can you come do it? We have to hurry up. Can you do it? Well, just read
Blessings, blessings, blessings.
Okay, we're gonna have Saba read it out so we can go ahead. Go ahead.
Before Central Park was created, the landscape along what is now the park's perimeter, from West 82nd to West 89th Street, was the site of Seneca Village, a community of predominantly African Americans, many whom owned property. By 1855, the village consisted of approximately 225 residents, made up of roughly 2/3 African American, 1/3 Irish immigrants, and a small number of individuals of German descent. Seneca Village allowed residents to live away from the more built-up sections of downtown Manhattan and escaped unhealthy conditions and racial discrimination they faced there. Seneca Village began in 1825. The landowners in the area, John and Elizabeth Whitehead, subdivided their land and sold it as 200 lots. Andrew Williams, a 25-year-old African-American shoe shiner, bought the first 3 lots for $125. Epiphany Davis, a store clerk, bought 12 lots for $578. And the AME Zion Church purchased another 6 lots. From there, a community was born. From 1825 to 1832, the Whiteheads sold about half their land parcels to other African Americans. By the early 1830s, there were approximately 10 homes in the village. By the mid-1850s, Seneca Village had 50 homes and 3 churches, as well as burial grounds and a school for African American students. For African Americans, Seneca Village offered the opportunity to live in an autonomous community far from the densely populated downtown. Despite New York State's abolition of slavery in 1827, discrimination was still prevalent throughout New York City and severely limited the lives of African Americans. Seneca Village's remote location likely provided a refuge from this climate. It also would have provided an escape from the unhealthy and crowded conditions of the city, and access to more space both inside and outside the home. Compared to other African Americans living in New York, residents of Seneca Village seem to have been more stable and prosperous. By 1855, approximately half of them owned their own homes. With property ownership came other rights, not commonly held by African Americans in the city. Namely, the right to vote in 1821, New York State required African American men to own at least 250 in the property and hold residency for at least 3 years to be able to vote. Of the 100 black New Yorkers eligible to vote in 1845, 10 lived in Seneca Village. The fact that many residents were property owners contradicts some common misconceptions during the mid-19th century that people living on the land slated for the park were poor squatters living in shanties. While some residents lived in shanties and in crowded conditions, most lived in two-story homes. Census records show that residents were employed, with African Americans typically employed as laborers and in service jobs. The main options for them at the time. Records also showed that most children who lived in Seneca Village attended school. During the early 1850s, the city began planning for a large municipal park to counter unhealthful urban conditions and provide space for recreation. In 1853, the New York State Legislature enacted a law that set aside 775 acres of land in Manhattan, from 59th to 106th Street, between 5th and 8th Avenues, to create the country's first major landscaped public park. The city acquired the land through eminent domain. The law allows the government to take private land for public use with compensation paid to the landowner. This was common practice in the 19th century and had been used to build Manhattan's grid of streets decades earlier. There were roughly 1,600 inhabitants displaced throughout the area. Although landowners were compensated, many argue that their land was undervalued. Ultimately, all residents had to leave by the end of 1857. Research is underway to determine where Seneca Village residents relocated. Some may have gone to other African American communities in the region, such as Sandy Ground in Staten Island and Skunk Hollow in New Jersey. Although we have limited knowledge of what life was like in Seneca Village, there has been ongoing work to learn more about its residents and their lives. In 2011, archaeologists from Columbia University and the City University of New York conducted a dig site. They uncovered artifacts such as an iron tea kettle, a roasting pan, a stoneware beer bottle, fragments of Chinese export porcelain, and a small shoe with leather sole and fabric upper. These items have helped us piece together what life is like for the village residents. Despite its short history of only 32 years, Seneca Village is understood as a tight-knit community that served as a stabilizing and empowering force in uncertain times.
That was very beautiful. Thank you so much for that tribute. We will now have our second video, a poem, Our Deepest Fear, played by Baba Jeff.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate.
Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure.
It is our light, not our darkness, that most finds us.
We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually,
who are you not to be? You are a child of God.
Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you.
We are all meant to shine as children do. We are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us. It's in everyone.
And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same.
As we are liberated from our own fear,
our presence automatically liberates others.
Ashe.
Shay, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for the poem. We will now have Litany by Donovan and Saba.
Donovan, go ahead and read the litany, please.
Save us, O Holy One, by your name. Vindicate us by your might. Hear my prayer, divine protector. Listen to the words of my mouth. How can we repay the Holy One for the gifts that have been given to us? We will lift up the cup of salvation and call upon the God of our ancestors. We will fulfill our vows to our Creator in the presence of all people. Gladly we bring sacrifices to you. We praise your name, O Amen Ra, for it is good.
You're the lead.
Okay. Umoja, unity. We shall strive to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race.
Kujichagulia, self-determination. We shall define, name, create, and speak for ourselves.
Ujima, collective work and responsibility. We shall build and maintain our communities together. Our brothers and sisters' problems shall be ours to solve together.
Ujamaa, cooperative economics. Together we shall build and maintain our own businesses together and profit from them.
Nia, purpose. We shall make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community and the restoration of our people to our traditional greatness.
Kurumba, creativity. We shall do as much as we can in any way we can to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than when we inherited it.
Imani, faith. We shall believe with all our hearts in our God, our people,
and in the righteousness and victory of our struggle. Okay. As you see up here, we have the ways to give. We have the Wose Oakland and the Wose Sacramento. And now we're gonna pray. Dear God, thank you for this day. And thank you to the people who are able to give, and to the people who are unable to give but want to. We ask for blessings over this offering, and we thank you so much. Amen and Ashe.
Thank you, Donovan and Saba, for our litany. We will now have our morning message by Sister Mariana.
Oh, good morning, Wose. I am so happy to be here and see the children. I love to see the youth active. Thank you so much to the young people. That was me, y'all. That was me. 40 something, 30 something years ago. That was me, y'all. I was up there stumbling over words, being courageous, heart pounding. Charlene, you've done an amazing job being our master of our agenda today and our worship coordinator. Youth, your energy and your fire and your songs and conviction. I love the remix to Children of the Sun rap style. I love how you made that remix, and I am just so grateful to see you all being of service and leading for Biko Sunday today. I want to thank the elders for inviting me to come and be a vessel for a message for us to learn and teach and cultivate our self-reliance as children of the Son of Wose today. And, everything is very appropriate and in alignment when I look at what the message is about. And let me tell you something really quick before we bring the presentation up that I have with the visuals for you. All week long, when you take seriously that you gotta teach folks, that you gotta be used as a message, you gotta open yourself up to everything that pours in you. So throughout the week, I was thinking, what do I want to share with family today? What do we need to study on? What do we need to work on today? And with the transition of our great minister, our great Baba Imhotep, the lesson to me that I am going through, right, as I minister to I minister to myself, is all about leadership. And today, the youth are exploring what it feels like to be in leadership regularly, right? And we're all leaders in some sort of way in our lives, whether we're leading our personal life, whether we're leading our families, right? As parents, big sisters, big brothers, you all are siblings, you young people that are here, whether you're a leadership in your classrooms, right? Because if you're a leader, how your energy works and how it flows is going to influence all the students that are watching you. You may be a leader in your workplace for those of you who are holding it down and how you serve and work, or you may be a leader in your community. At some capacity, we have to operate in leadership. And so I present to you the message of today, which is leading the way. Leading the way. And as I reprise that through this session today, leading the way, I want you to constantly ask yourself the question, what will it take? Right? If we were sitting next to each other in church today on Fourth Sunday, I'd have you lean into each other and say, hey, I got to lead the way. What's it going to take? I'd have you ask each other. So really posture your heart to receiving and contemplating, right? This idea of what does it take to be in leadership? What does it take to be a person who is leading the way? I've had the honor and the privilege. We've had the honor of the privilege of our own Baba Minister Imhotep leading the way in Sacramento for 40 years. What did that take? What did that take? Right? So Brother Bill or Brother Jeff, whoever is there, please go ahead and cue up the lesson for today. If you have paper, I implore you to get your notes, right? Get your pen, get your paper, because how we roll in Wose is, yeah, I can speak to you and agitate that greatness and get you excited and warm and fuzzy, but we're really studying here, right? And all the things that I'm sharing with you, some you've heard, some will be an angle that's new. I'm learning simultaneously, and I'm having to apply these things. So it's one thing to hear me speak. It's another thing to listen, but it's another thing. I see you, Minister Alicia, get them notes out. I see you. She got her paper ready, right? We're going to start coming to Wose with our notes, with our paper, so that when we also write it, we're impressing the message in multiple ways so that it can carry with us through our day to day, our week to week, our month to month, our year to year. So leading the way, what will it take? And I've been asking myself that a lot lately as I've now taken on some new leadership in my life. I had to ask myself, what does it take? I'm a natural born leader, but there's some things we got to study when we're leading ourselves, our families, our community, our nation, our people, right? So let's go to the next slide, Baba, and let's see what we got here. So as you know, we got some holy books. And one of my favorite holy books, the first holy book that I ever learned about as a young lady at Wose, a young girl at Wose, was the Husia. And I liked it because it wasn't that big. Sometimes, them big books get intimidating. When I was little, I was like, look, this is, them books is big. I don't know if I could sit down like my mama. My mama's here with me, y'all. She's over here laughing and smiling right now. My mama had them big old thick books, and it'd be a little overwhelming, a little intimidating. I already got schoolwork. You want me to read these books too? But the Husia, it was handy dandy. It could fit in my backpack. I could hold it in one palm, and I could flip to something and get a little chunk, get a little verse, and take it and digest it. Right? So today, when we're looking at the book of the Husia, we're looking at the book of wise instruction. And I love wise instruction because sometimes I just need stuff to tell me what to do, right? Sometimes I cook and I freestyle and I'm like my mama, I'll throw little things in the pot. But sometimes when I'm learning, I need some wise instructions. I need something straightforward to tell me what ingredients do I need? What do I need to have prepared to take on this lesson? So we're looking at the book of wise instruction, specifically the book of Ptahhotep. And if you could see, I don't know if you look at this image of Ptahhotep, this is about a couple thousand years old. That looked like a brother on the block to me, y'all. I see his goatee, right? I think he got a little fade with his little blue cap on, right? He got his staff, he got his chains on, his decoration on. That looks like a brother off the block to me, but he's a wise brother, right? And so sometimes when we read our Hosea, when we read holy books, when we learn about the different gods, which are representation of God, sometimes they seem far outside of ourselves. I want you to think of Ptah like your uncle right now. Think of Ptah as your uncle that's breaking you off some good life game, okay? And so what we're looking at is the verse of on page 43. So I'm going to go to page 43 and we're going to read this because we're going to break it down and we're going to get into it. And I hope you're taking notes, okay? So verses 7-8 on page 43 in your Hosea and the book of wise instructions, the book of Ptahhotep. He says, if you are a leader, see that the plans you make are carried out. Do great things which will be remembered long after you. Where there is praise, detraction cannot survive. That's the haters, y'all. But those of ill will enter like crocodiles. Strife also comes. Second, if you're a leader, be courteous and listen carefully to the presentations of petitioners. Stop not their speech until they have poured out their heart and spoken that which they came to say. Those with grievances like to speak out and have their petitions heard. But whosoever stops a presentation, it raises the question of why does one having this power act in this manner? Not all that is asked for may be granted, but a fair hearing satisfies the heart. That's what I wanted to read, right? Because I'm like, how do I step in leadership a little better in my personal life, in my relationships? What do I need to do? And this stood out to me, y'all. And the reason why it stuck out to me is because it's direct. It's direct. Hey, if you're a leader, see that your plans are carried out, right? So let's go to the next slide, Baba. And let's start getting into what Ptahhotep is telling us. What's Uncle Ptah? What's Netter Ptah got to teach us on today, right? So sometimes when you learn a lesson from somebody, you got to understand and be reminded about who they are. It's easier to receive a message if you know what this person is all about, right? If you know what this deity, this God, this entity is all about. So a quick reminder, and I want you to notice that the images I use, I pulled from the Baba Imhotep Al-Kabalan files. So if they look familiar, this is a refresh. But Ptah is a G-O-G. Now I know you've heard of an OG, right? Original OG, right? Original gangster, original God. But Ptah is a G-O-G, which means he's a God of gods, right? And this is not on that old school Western hierarchy thing where somebody is higher or better. He's just an elder in the way that he's a primate God, which means he was the first to emerge from water. And so when we're thinking about creation, right, and we're thinking about water, we all were in a sack of amniotic fluids for 9 months before we get here. We all came from water. When we look at the first creations on this planet, it all came from water. So that's why you see him depicted in blue or with the blue cap sometimes. So when you see Uncle Ptah, when you see Netter Ptah, you got to know he's a G-O-G and respect the wisdom that he has for you, right? Now that we know where he comes from, let's talk about what he uses. What's his flex, right? All of us got a flex. When I looked at the young people singing and performing, I saw who the drummer was. He looked like a wise old man with his little stick in his mouth, right? That's the heartbeat. That's his job, right? And that's what his superpower is. I saw the MC in the lead rapping and singing. That's your flavor, the griot, the storyteller, right? But I also saw the folks on the side that held that rhythm with keeping all the words going. Because sometimes we'll get caught up in the roles because they're different, but they're all very necessary. So those were your superpowers in that moment. Now, when we're talking about Ptah, the G-O-G, one of our primate gods that merged from the water, his whole power was the logos power. And that's the power of your mind, right? That's the power also of the heart. I'm a very heartfelt person. I'm a very passionate person. And also, he was about creative utterance. So when you look at, right, before there was creation, there was the word. And you hear that it has to come from a space of power as we think, right? It's so how we create. So Ptah, his superpower was I think it and I use my mind power, right? I feel it and I use my passion to spark it. But then he spits that word and he brings that thought and that feeling to existence through the sound. Now that's powerful, right? I don't know if any of you are poets in here or if you're singers in here or if you love poetries and singers, right? But when you get in the groove and you see somebody that has the power of utterance, you can sway a whole group of people to think and feel however you want. That's a superpower. So that's why Ptah is a GOG, right? Ptah is in poetry. Ptah is in leadership through voice and oratorical skill sets. Ptah is in music. Ptah is all the things of utterance of the mind and the heart. Then once that sparks with atom, right? That turns into action and electricity. But right now, we just focused on Uncle Ptah. We focused on Netta Ptah. So just remember, young people, that when we're talking about the GOG Ptah, we're talking about he's all about mind power. He's got control of his thoughts. He knows how to be in tune with his heart. And when he speaks, he articulates what he wants to create. Let's go to the next slide. Looking at Ptah, OG, right? So one more thing we got to explore about Ptah before we get into the message any deeper, because he's a leader, right? If you've been here that long, if you first and you come from the water, you got some old primordial ancient energy about you. So the significance about him is he's a born leader. Now, I don't know about you. I'm a born leader, but some areas I got to learn how to be a better leader. I still got to study. I still got to practice. I still got to call my elders and teach me where can I be better about this, right? So he's a born leader, right? And again, as a born leader, he can think, he can feel, he can speak it into existence. And you hear, you hear these us hoteps. We say that loud, right? That's what they call us, when they joke about us hoteps. We talk about manifesting. We talk about speaking it to an existence, right? That's Ptah energy. So when you're talking about manifesting, which is trending, you're talking about GOG Ptah. When you're talking about bringing something into existence and calling it into fruition from your thoughts, and you're thinking about it and you can envision it and see it, you're tapping in to that good Ptah energy, okay? And even if you want to take it to the Bible, right? Because as Wo saying, we pull from all walks. If it's the truth, we gonna use it. If it's the truth, we let it minister to us. So when we're talking about as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Hey, that comes from Proverbs. If you need to hear from that book too, that's where that concept is. That Proverbs verse is Ptah energy, right? So when we're moving forward and we're thinking about GOG Ptah, all right, he's here to teach me how to use my mind. All right, he's here to teach me how to use my heart, channel in and use my passion. You ever see somebody that lose their passion for life? They're like walking zombies, and it's a lot of them out here, y'all. Sometimes we can feel that way when we're pulled down, when the energies outside of us want to think us have our mind on certain negative things and feelings and all the stuff going on. Our minds could get tricked. So we got to have a lot of control over our mind. I got to work daily. I got to use aromatherapy. I got to float. I got to meditate. I got to give myself sound baths. It's a 24/7 job, just keeping myself regulated, right? To not lose my mind and not lose touch of that Ptah energy, right? Everybody right now, I want you to clap your hands and say Ptah energy in 1, 2, 3. Ptah energy, right? Start correlating these lessons with sounds and motions. So when you out and the tricksters is out there trying to get you to get caught in their feelings, I'm tapping into my Ptah energy, right? When you're going to the workplace, to the salt mine, to the plantation, some people unfortunately call it, and they trying you, I got to tap into my Ptah energy, right? When your triggers and your traumas and your fear of the unknown starts trickling into your brain, hey, I got to tap into that Ptah energy, right? I control my mind. I control my heart. Do you feel the entering of the spirit in this message? Because I'm feeling it. Let's go to the next slide. Let's go. Ptah energy. Y'all gonna be all through the week slapping your hands and saying patah. Them people gonna be looking at you crazy, but you're gonna have your mind right. You're gonna have your heart right. Okay. So now that we really kind of got into you know what I'm saying? Like a good novella, like a good story, right? Storytelling. Africans is all about telling stories so we'll get the message. Because if it's dry, we don't want to read it, right? So patah, the G-O-G, Big Unc from the water with the blue cap, right? Big Unc who tells you, hey, what you think, what you feel is going to be what you say. So you got to monitor that. That's his game. That's his power, his superpower. So now let's really look at and break down those holy verses from the Hosea. Let's really look at it because at first it sounds all sacred, but let's break it down. So let's go back, right, to our Hosea, page 43. We're going to look at that verse 7, right? So when he's saying if you're a leader, see the plans, see your plans are carried out, you got to carry out plans because ain't nobody trusting nobody in leadership that don't do what they say, y'all. Let's really break down what patah energy is talking about, right? If you don't do what you say, ain't nobody trusting you and what you got to say, right? Let's come on, look at just the current administration now, if that's even what we want to call it, because I just think that's the leaders of Babylon going wild and crazy because they feel us tapping into that patah energy, right? We're starting to awaken and they scared. They very scared, y'all. But if you want to be a leader of your own life, you got to carry out plans. I got to do a to-do checklist every day for me to get my life taken care of, y'all. I can't remember it and just have it swarming in my mind. I can't remember it just because I meant to do it in my heart. I got to write down a to-do list. That's that patah energy, right? Because I want to keep control and make sure that I get the things done as a leader of my life. Personally, I got a to-do list. I got responsibilities. Young adults, you rushing to be grown. Let me tell you, it ain't just about having freedom. It's about having responsibilities. And you got to tap into that patah energy to keep your mind and your heart and your words in the right place to get that daily to-do list done. That's not even stepping into if you're in a relationship. Then if you're in a relationship or you have a significant other, you got to be a leader for them and they're a leader for you. You got to tap into that patah energy to keep that relationship balanced. If you're a parent, right? Lord knows it's not easy and we ain't perfect, but we got to tap into our patah energy because we might lose our mind going through those trials and tribulations. We can even lose our hearts if we're not careful going through those trials and tribulations. And this can go on and on and on, whatever way you are operating in leadership in your life. All right. So number one, we got to carry out plans. Papa, OG, patah saying, do what you say or don't utter it at all. Don't say you're going to do it and not follow through. If you want people to respect your leadership of your individual life and the leader that you're presenting to community. Number two, he says, do great things remembered. Pretty much do great things that people are going to remember when you're gone. We're going to remember Baba Imhotep. He left archives. I was able to dip my toe, just one little pinky toe, into his archives and get exactly the support I needed. And I could expound on it and remix this sacred message because those were great things that he remembered to do and leave in archives for us coming into the new leadership. Us young baby Bikoans now turning into baby OGs, right, Alicia? Right? So when we're moving forward, we have to not just do good things, we got to do great things. We can't talk about how wonderful and amazing our ancestors are and just romanticize, right, all the goodness they did. And then when we leave, we raggedy and we didn't leave nothing behind that we proud of and that can help the generation coming behind us. That's what the Biko spirit is about, making sure we're looking out for the kids. So you got to do great things. When they think of me, I want y'all not just think about my flaws and my long-windedness and some of my little issues I'm working through as a passionate woman. I want you to think about the good things that I left this planet. What are the good things? So think about that question in the message. Leading the way, what will it take? This right here is what it's going to take. Carry out plans. Do great things that generations behind you will remember so that they can practice and emulate, right? Now, he gives you a little side note. He says, praise stops detraction. Now, you know, we get weird sometimes because we all think we know what big words are, but I didn't know what detraction was immediately. I don't use that word regularly. So I had to look it up. Again, as I minister to me and you, it's to myself, right? It's the same. So basically, that's the haters. That's people that has anything to say that'll shrink you, diminish you. You know, them folks that knew you from your past days and you ain't living like that no more, but they just can't respect that you done outgrown that. They try to talk down, right? Gossip about you, say negative things about you, detraction, things to shrink the God in you, to make you convinced that you can't overcome those small things and issues you're working through because you are great, right? So praise, when you do things that remember and people talking good about you, right? That detracts from all the negativity of the past that people might be trying to hold on about you, things that you've forgiven yourself for, things that you've made good right with God, right? It could be a decision you made yesterday. You apologize for it, you correct yourself, and you move on. It's hard to do sometimes, right? But when we're praising and we're in good energy, when we're talking good and complimenting each other, you see me when the kids go, I'm clapping because I knew how much that clap meant to me when I was up there trying to memorize all them lyrics and litanies of sacrifices. And that's a lot of scripture, right? So this idea of praising each other, constantly pouring into each other, that's a new way to say it, right? Pouring into each other, reminding us of our greatness, remembering the great things we did day to day, year to year, lifetime to lifetime, we detract from the negativity. That's not the noise, because that's tapping into that patah energy of the powerful mind and the powerful heart, right? Now, the last little note that he puts in that he kind of leaves it like a little spicy on the end. You ever taste some good food and then all of a sudden, ooh, that got a little kick to it, right? That last one, he put a little kick in there. He said the ill will brings strife, right? So you could be tapped into that patah energy all you want, but if you got people around you that's ill-willed, that's living an ill life. And when we say ill, that means toxic, right? Ill means sick. Toxic means sick, right? So when you're around people, you can be practicing and trying to tap into all the patah energy you want. Control your mind, control your heart, but by association. If you are surrounding yourself, right, by ill will people, oh, I'll just let it pass, right? Oh, it don't mean no harm until it hits you. So we got to know that as much as we're practicing that patah energy, it's also our responsibility to surround ourselves with people who make effort to practice mind control, can practice heart control, right? And to speak utterances and good things and praises and lifting and pouring up into each other. Ooh, it's rolling off, y'all. And let me go to the chat section and see where you're at, because I see comments rolling in. And if I was in your face, I'd be talking to you. So let me see. Let's see. Some of y'all says, I'm loving your energy and your message. I'm Juice, Sister Mariana. Yes, I love it. I feel you speak truth. Thank you for the praises. It's not for me. It's for the collective energy flowing through us in the Most High. Gloria says, yes, Minister Imhotep left us so much to continue and be blessed by. Yes, he lives on. Yes, indeed. Thank you for the tap-ins. Let's go to the next slide because we got to break down that last verse, that second verse of our message today. All right, now I want you to look at the little picture right there. Right, you see him again with his blue cap, you know, his goatee, got his little, name representation. But what does it say at the bottom? I want you to focus on what does it say at the bottom of this netter, our dear Uncle Baba netter, right? Who Patah is trying to teach us. It says peaceful and reconciling Patah. That's a great compliment. If somebody says that you are peaceful and reconciled, I gotta work, y'all. When it's time for me to reconcile some stuff, it's hard work. I gotta have a lot of control over my mind. I gotta be in tune with the goodness of my mind, y'all. Because if I try to reconcile, my mind ain't in the right place, and I ain't getting nowhere. End up being fake, and I don't do that no more. I can't. It don't fit me no more, right? If my heart is not in the right place, and the emotions that I'm feeling, I cannot be peaceful and I can't reconcile any hardships going on for myself or with others, right? I got to tap into that patah energy, right? So let's look at this last verse. If you are a leader, be courteous and listen carefully to the presentations of petitioners. Stop not their speech until they poured out all their heart and spoken which they came to say. Those with grievances, they like to speak out and have their petitions heard. But whosoever stops the presentation raises the question, why you got the power to act like this in this manner? Not all might be granted, but a fair hearing satisfies the heart. So that tells us how Patah went about dealing with confrontation or issues or negative energy. When people came talking that gossip or whatever, right, or saying negative things about the next brother and sister, or trying to cloud you and bombard your mind with all the negative things in the world, be courteous. Let them speak their mind. Let them say what they got to say. That's what Big Uncle Patah is saying to us. Let people get it off their chest, right? You ain't got to exert no energy. Just listen and listen carefully. And what I've learned when I listen carefully, instead of trying to go back and forth, I'm learning this. Instead of trying to go back and forth, if I just close my mouth, and y'all, it's hard because I lie, I always got something to say. If I just close my mouth and listen, and when it is time for me to speak, I end up saying a third less of the words that I would if I start going off at the mouth without a controlled mind, without a controlled heart. Usually when I listen carefully and I don't cut people off and I have discipline in conversation, them be the best conversations. Them be the best problem solving situations. Them be the best reconciliations, right? But I had to learn, if I don't have that patai energy in place, I'm not going to get through it as easy. It's going to be much more of a difficult, right? So let people speak their mind, right? Because ultimately what happens, what he's saying is, when you cut people off like a DJ scratching, they don't get to get their flow out. Then you overflow them, and then it turns into a combative situation. And let me tell you, when I was studying this for y'all, this was helping me in some good areas of my life. I had to look at myself. Where can I apply this pata energy, right? And so it's this whole lesson is really helping me to see that I might be right, but I ain't got to say it all the time, y'all. And as a teacher, boy, I be trying to say it all the time. I ain't got, if I go around in this crazy world every day trying to correct people, I will be tired and exhausted at the end of the day. I ain't gonna get my to-do list done, right? So being right doesn't necessarily mean you got to be quick to correct or debate. You know, this world is real polarized. Everything, you can't go on and post one thought from your mind or feel it from your heart, because somebody gonna come in, the ill will is gonna come and challenge you. It's gonna come and disrespect you, right? So sometimes it's okay to keep sacred things inside, and there'll be a time and a place in that Pata energy will let you know, like a wise OG, just when to drop that jewel, and then you could back up and you get respected. But if we run in our mouth all the time, if we're bickering all the time, nobody's following our leadership. Even if we are right, don't nobody want to hear all that. I'm learning it the hard way. I got to learn that there's a time and a place to drop the wisdom. And that's usually when people ask for it, not just because we feel on our high and mighty horse because we got this knowledge and wisdom. The OG say, don't cast pearl before swine. Sometimes we got to have that pata energy and just keep it for ourselves. And when we are with like-minded people, like-hearted people, like-spirited people, then we can move forward and know that we are safe to share our wisdom, and it'll be appreciated and not disrespected, right? Now, the thing is what Pata's telling us in closing, he's saying, look, I might go ahead and hear you out. Hear you out. That don't mean I agree with you. So I just want you to be clear. Pata's not saying just because you are a good listener, you got to agree with everything everybody says. Pata is also letting us know, right, in this life lesson, that just because you listen and you understand doesn't mean you have to agree or you have to change your stance and your inner compass of my eye, right? You can hear a person out and be truthful in return. You can hear a person out and be just, fair in return. You can hear a person out, but still do what's for your healthy, higher good in the way that you honor and follow the direction of the Most High. So that might mean after you hear somebody out, especially if you're in a leadership position, they might be mad at you because you heard them out and you still make the decision you made. They're supposed to trust some of that leadership, and you got to trust the leadership that God has given you. So in that part where it says may not be able to grant everything that everybody wants, at the end, a person will be satisfied if they know you heard them out, you reasoned with them, and you made the decision according to what God's direction is telling you to do. A person got to respect that. Because usually when you're doing what God tells you to do, it ain't harming them. It's not harming nobody. Usually when you listen what Most High tells you, when I listen what Most High tells me, I don't usually get steered the wrong way. I'll end up in a ditch. I might have to do some work to get out of the ditch I found myself into, right? But when I really, really listen, right, I might not get everything I want, but God will give me exactly what I need. I might not, the leader of God in my life might not say that that's not the route for you. That's not the place for you to be right now, but I need you to get this to-do list done. Be the leader of your life. Be the leader of your family. Once you get those things in order, you could have leadership in these other ways start to fall in place. And when you're in that position of leadership and people come with you and they got their gripes, their grievances, their issues with you or with other people, you got to stand like in that pata energy and be able to have a strong, controlled mind, a controlled heart. Because being in a position of leadership without those things in place, we will be the ill-willed leader. We'll be the very thing that we detest in the outside world, that isfat that is attacking the children of the sun. right? That negative energy that's constantly at our door, in our hands, on our screens, constantly trying to bombard us to invade our mind, to invade our heart, to invade our spirit and keep us from that patah energy, right? So listen to folks. See what they got to say. There might be something valid. There might be areas that we do agree with. There might be areas that we don't agree with, but a person respects you in a space of leadership when you don't cut them off. And I've seen it. I've seen it when I was a listening leader, and I've seen how well it served me at the end. And I've also, they go, mommy, I say hi, mommy, y'all. Then I also know what it's like when I'm a leader and I do and don't listen. I could tell the difference in the outcome, right? But when you listen to a person, let them get it off their chest. Then speak your truth and they respect you and they let you get it off your chest. That's a whole different conversation. That's a whole different type of leadership and outcome. So what this means, let's translate this to the community. We ain't always gonna get along, y'all. We ain't always gonna agree on the same thing as Africans. My people from Morocco and Cabo Verde, your people from Nigeria and Ghana, we have different thoughts, feelings, cultures, actions, right? We're from all over. We're not the same tribe. We're the same people, but we got different tribes. We got different ways of life. We don't all have to be one particular thing, and we're not always gonna agree. But if we respect each other, if we have control of our mind and our heart and our utterances when we speak to each other, we can lead each other in the way that we do trust, in the areas that we do trust each other, to begin to build that trust in the community that it's going to take for us to have this unity that we claim we need so much. So when a person sees you leading your individual life with some mental control, with some emotional control, they probably gonna listen to what the words you utter a little more. They probably gonna trust your leadership and action a little more. But if you don't, if you combative, if I'm combative, if we combative, if we cutting people off, then the nose get to puffing, then the heart get to palpitating, then the triggers get to powing. We're not going to be able to unify and get through some of the serious problem solving that we saying we don't want other communities to do for us. We got to have that patah energy to learn how to process through those grievances. Learn how to process through the disconnect and the challenges that we have as African people. Our brothers and sisters, problems are ours to solve together. Requires the patah energy. Slide to the next slide to me, brother, because we got to close out. How am I doing on time? I got to learn how to keep this my long-winded self. All right, I did it. I got us to the end, y'all. Woo, that was hard. I had to go a few different places, but we got to our destination. So check it out. Patah is holding the Jed stand, representing stability and standing on what? What's it say? Standing on my eye. Hey, standing on my eye. That stand, that physical stand that you see him, right? You notice the Oscars, Baba Imhotep taught us the Oscars stole this symbol because it's so powerful. Because when you look at Hollywood, what they want to control? Your mind. When you look at Hollywood and the Oscars and the Tonys and the Grammys, what they want to control through their music, through their entertainment, they want to control how you feel. Right? Then they control what you say. They make slang words and terrible words cool, right? They make upside down look right side up because those divine utterances next combined with actions of Atam, that turns into how people actually move outside of their mind. That turns into the energy, right? So that's why them Oscars, right? And then people steal our symbols because they know the power, but they use it with their intention. We taking back that patah energy and we standing on my eye. So what this means is my aunt came before Patah. She a GOG too. She like, look, you got to be truthful. You got to be just. You got to be righteous because you can't tap into that Patah energy if you're not honest about what's going on in your mind and articulating it with smooth utterance, even if it's challenging, right? If you're not standing in my eye and you got to share your heart and your passion with somebody and you're not being honest and fair, it's going to be messy. You know that messy love. We all have some messy love, and we're doing the cleanup jobs now in our African community, right? Right? And if we're not righteous, right? If we're not doing things for the healthy, higher good, we're not using and operating from Patah energy. So that's what Ankh is teaching us. That's what this grand GOG netter is teaching us. And how are we going to lead the way? What will it take? It will take for us to watch our mind. Sometimes you got to check your own mind because your mind will cat off into all kind of negative things that didn't even happen yet. And then you just start creating it. Then your heart and your actions and your words follow, right? Patah teaches us how to watch our heart, right? When we're feeling sad and depressed, and they trying to make that trending now. You better go drum that drum. You better go sit in your toes in that grass. You better go to that water. You better go back to God and nature. That'll pull you right up out of it. Half of the reason why our heart is sad is because we're not doing some of the sacred practices that keep us balanced with that pata energy, right? What will it take? Now we got to watch our mouth. I got to work on this one, y'all, because y'all know I be talking, the mind be on point, the heart be on point, but I got to make sure I got that thing harnessed on right. And I also got to apologize when she gets a little passionate. And as African people, brothers and sisters, problems are to solve together. We got to be okay with apologizing. I'm sorry. I was a little sassy how I said that day. I didn't mean it, right? I'm sorry. My mind wasn't controlled. My heart wasn't controlled. I need to repair that. I need to acknowledge that. Sometimes that'll keep us from beefing for a lifelong. Y'all might have somebody right now in here that you holding a little teeny eensy weensy grudge on because we didn't know how to use that pata energy to go back and correct our mind, correct our heart, correct the things we said that maybe have created some openings for Isfat to seep in and create something that's harmful, right? And then he says, be fair to the community and stand on Maat. He ain't talking without saying I'm being fair. He not running his mouth and being a leader without making sure to vet through. Am I being truthful? Am I being just? Am I being righteous? Because if not, there is no balance, order, harmony, or reciprocity. So let my aunt be my inner compass to figure out if I'm truly tapping into the right parts of that pata energy, if I'm truly facilitating my decisions and my relationships and my life goals and passions through the sincere space of pata energy. When we do this, we kindly light the way. That means we ain't biting nobody's head off. We listen, we patient. That means we know when it's time for us to speak, we drop that wisdom. People usually respect us a little more. We could probably get out of the confusion and the issues that we have if we tap in to the pata energy. And that's what I have for you today. Looking at what leadership means in your individual life. You got some goals right now that need you to tap into that pata energy. I know I had some, they were sitting on the shelf. I got a book that's 90% done, y'all. If y'all don't tell, every time y'all see me, you better say when the book coming out, okay? So I can stay in alignment. I need my netters around me to keep me tapped in to my pata energy. If we know we got goals, hold each other accountable with love. Sis, when's your cocoa butter line coming out you was talking about? Sis, where's your artwork out? I said I was going to buy from you 2 years ago, right? Let's tap in and keep our minds in the positive space, right? Sis, you look like you was going through something the other day. Did I say something or did I offend you? Let me check in with you. That's how we care for each other with the pata energy. Because we can't go to these other institutions that don't have our health in mind. We got to go to community. Our brothers and sisters are problems to solve together. We cannot do it without the pata energy, holding ourselves accountable with our minds, our emotions, our words, holding each other accountable with love and patience and listening to each other's minds, listening to each other's hearts, right? Listening to each other's words so that we don't get offended. We don't get rubbed the wrong way. Or when it's uncomfortable, we can work through it because we need that pata energy to get through the restoration. Let's go to that next slide. We got 2 more and I'm out of here. I'm doing good, y'all. It's not even 12 o'clock. Let's go. Look at who that is right there. Look at that man. He was in Egypt. He was in Kemet. And he was in a sacred temple. And the sun was shining down. And I want you to look. I didn't do no editing to that photo. He was in the darkness, but the light, when he was aligned with the light, he could see who he is. And can't we see who he is? He was a wonderful leader. And the way he led the way with us was a very calm, grounded, pata like energy. Y'all see how I did that and brought it into a tribute to our Baba, that we're transitioning to the ancestral world with honor and grace. He was tapped in to that pata energy. And that goatee was long, y'all. You see where it was at? It was hitting down here. He could braid that thing, y'all, right? He was tapped into the pata energy. Baba Imhotep didn't overtalk you. Baba Imhotep didn't interrupt you. You could be reeling out. You could have a funky attitude. You could be holding on to some resentment, but he was going to let you air it out. And he'll lean back and he'll think about it because he's going through that filter. We can go through that filter of what can I say is truthful right now without being harmful. Because y'all, we ain't got to be mean when we truthful. That whole brutal honesty thing gets us in trouble. The truth will do what it do on its own. We ain't got to be sassy. We ain't got to be rude. We ain't got to be on just utter it smooth. And he would tell you the truth. right? And he would let you get it all off your chest so that by the time it was time for him to stand in leadership, to be a nurturer and a provider of the way in your frustration, he can then say exactly what needed to be said because he heard everything you were going through. That is leading the way, standing with that Ptah energy. That is leading the way, standing with, right? Standing on Ma'at. What the kids say, right? It's in me, not on me. That's their little thing that they say all the time. It's in me, not on me. Y'all, Ma'at is in me. It ain't on me. I stand on business. That's what the kids say, right? I stand on Ma'at. Anytime I get wiggly and I know I'm not acting right, my mind is, my heart ain't right, my words is right. Even if I got to lick my little self-inflicted wounds because I wasn't acting right, I got to sit back and say, I wasn't acting out of my eye. I need to be honest with myself, right? I need to be truthful. I need to be fair with myself and whoever I'm dealing with. And I need to do whatever I need to do to correct myself. And so as our Baba led the way, he stood on my eye. He stood on the virtues of my eye. And y'all, so this is one thing I do. I like to talk to myself at night when I sleep. So what I did is I did a audio recording of the 10 virtues of Ma'at, and I put that on loop about 57 million times, and I go to my sleep listening to myself saying, I have control of my thoughts. I have control of my actions. I have devotion to purpose. I have faith in my ability for my teacher to teach me, right? I have faith in myself to assimilate the truth. All these things, I'm going to sleep. I'm programming myself. I'm trying to program all the crazy stuff that's literally in the airwaves right now just for this stuff to be on Wi-Fi. I got to constantly do things to engage my mind. So let's go to the final slide. 1201. Look at that. Woohoo! Who is that fine gentleman there? Standing in Kemet, leading the way of his personal development and growth, going back to the motherland so he could literally see the things that we are studying today. The sun behind him, the towel on his head like a rude boy, but he's there like an intellectual rude boy because he's fighting the system by bringing the knowledge back to us. And I can't help but to look at the fact that look how great and mighty he stands by these structures that were built by our ancestors with that Ptah energy. You know what kind of mind and heart and passion you got to be, frequency you got to be on to be like, hey, I'm going to build a pyramid today or for the next however many centuries, right? You got to be tapped in. Y'all, we got to build some stuff for these babies behind us. They trying to disconnect them from this Ptah energy. We got to remix it. We got to do great things as leaders. We got to do things that are remembered the same way our Baba could go to that sacred land and see the great things that our ancestors did. What will it take? What type of Ptah energy do you need to be manifesting? What kind of leadership do you need to be leading for in your personal life and about, right? That will keep us remembered, that'll keep us holy and sacred and divine, that'll keep our minds intact, our heart intact, our utterances and our actions and all that we create going for countless more generations. What will it take? It takes the Ptah energy. It takes standing on my eye. And as we continue to learn and study together, we're just going to keep taking pieces of what Baba left us in the archive, and we're going to study it forevermore. We're going to apply it. And I hope truly in all my spirit, in all the passion, the tingly hairs that are standing up on my arms as the spirit is with me, I hope that you feel it sincerely. I hope that these utterances touch a part of you that will help you to resolve any kind of challenge or blockage in your life today, tomorrow, for the rest of this lifetime. We record our services, y'all, so these archives will be great things to remember. I thank you for your love. I thank you for your attentiveness. I see the chat box is going crazy. I'm going to go back and look at the love and the positivity. And I thank the Most High. And I thank Baba for keeping me up till 3 a.m. because he said, I got more for you to add. Listen, be obedient to spirit. And I want to remind y'all that we got some hot tracks. The authoritative utterances and exceptional insights is available on Spotify. Baba left that with some beautiful music. You can listen to this Ptah energy in your car. You can listen to this Ptah energy as you lay your self down and do your night ritual. You can listen to this in your ear on the way to school, on your way, wherever it is you're doing, to stand as the beautiful child of the sun. I hope you feel encouraged. I hope your cup feels full. And I thank you and I'm humbled in this service of you today. Ashe, ashe, ashe.
Ashe sound, that was wonderful. Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Hey, blessings, blessings, blessings.
Asheo.
Great presentation.
Great teaching.
Great presentation.
Yes, that was absolutely beautiful.
Okay,
Thank
here we
you
go.
for Mariana.
Ashe. Give thanks. Wow, Mama Mariana.
Yes.
We have.
Thank you.
I have all of the notes.
We want to have
I understand there's no greater gift than to show a person their divinity. So thank you very much for doing it.
Definitely. Ashe. So we give thanks for Mama Mariana. We give thanks to Sister Charlene, who is our host for today. Thank you, Charlene. What a beautiful spirit she is. We give thanks. And I do have my notes, and I'm going to go back and do all the things too and look it over. And I'm thankful for that because, you know, as my son was struggling to present today, his name is Tawupata. And so it's right on, sis, right on. And so I had him sit here and try to understand more of who he is. And I give thanks for that, that beautiful message. What a wonderful message. And so now is our invitation. So to anyone who is under the sound of my voice, who is experiencing this great Youth Sunday, this awesome Youth Sunday, as our youth are here presenting the spirit, presenting those things that are of Wose, and presenting knowledge and wisdom of self as they are learning things and growing in their leadership. If you are not a member of Wose, or maybe you were a member and then you have kind of went away, and over the past weeks you have tried to kind of reconnect yourself to Wose, this is our time that we invite you to become a member, to say, hey, I would like to be a part. I have some gifts, some talents that I would like to put into Wose's energy as well. Then this is your time right now to raise your hand or unmute yourself, or even put it in the chat, and we will get to you and be able to speak with you and let you know the process of what it takes to become a member of Wose Community Church of the Sacred African Way. Also, if you're kind of not sure, but you're kind of thinking about it, you can also go to our website. And on our website, you can also you can also communicate with someone, and they that you would like to be a member, and they will get to you on that information. I'm looking through the people who are here. I'm not seeing any hands up as of yet. And if you guys see a hand up and I don't, you guys can shout it out. But this is the time for the invite, the official invite to Wose Community Church. All right. So now, as I do not see any hands, we'll go ahead and go to Lift Every Voice and Sing. Baba Jeff.
Every voice and sing till earth and heaven rings with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening stars. Let us resound loud as the roaring sea.
Ashe. Now to the one who is able to lift us up faultless before the throne on high. May they empower us to be one people.
One people.
With one aim.
One
aim.
One destiny.
One
destiny.
One love.
One love.
One heart.
One
heart.
One God.
One God.
And let us call on the name of that one God as our ancestors and our elders have done for countless times and for time immemorial. Let us all say, You are the most beautiful people on the face of this earth. Ashe, ashe, ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe.